We in the flow, we're rockin' on. We in the flow,
This is the flow we're rocking up.
We are real people
With real issues
who create solutions
and not more problems.
What's good, Rock?
What's going on? Oh,
Fifth episode, baby.
episode.
The flow, baby.
Man,
Hey,
consistency.
we here. That's all we could do, man. Hey, I'm telling you, it ain't no going back from here. I can't go back, and I can't
excited
swim.
about it,
You know,
man.
it's like you drawing out into the ocean and can't go back. I can't swim.
Never going back.
What? What?
Never going back.
Remix. Hey. Stop. All right,
Trying to
because
beatbox
it gets
at the
bad.
same time. The way it goes. Nah, man, but yeah. How was your weekend, sir?
My weekend is
Same old, same old?
Well, you know what? No, it wasn't the same old, same old. I had a play that I was going to be in Houston, Texas, and I would say shout out, but I'm not going to do it because I messed up. And so I had to make an honest decision. Let's just be real, y'all. Come on, I had bills to take care of, and I just didn't feel the best about going out of town and those bills not being taken care of and leaving the wife with those bills, you know. So I had to make the honest decision the day before. Oh my gosh. Shut up. I had to make the decision the day before the play. And so just to say again, I'm not going to shout out, but the director definitely was upset with me.
Of course. I'd be upset with you too.
He texted, shut up. But I had to make the honest decision.
But I understand. Like I said, at the end of the day, you got to take care of you in your home.
I had to.
Even though it might be a tough situation that you left somebody in. Yeah, bro, that's tough. I'll be mad at you too, but, like, you got to do for you at the end of the day.
And it wasn't really as bad because at the end of the day, he's done parts before. It wasn't like it was a few parts. It was just mine. And I didn't have such a huge scene. It was a huge, but it wasn't to where. And I'm not trying to justify it. I'm just saying that
it sounds
he
like you're
stepped
trying
in.
to justify
Shut
it,
up.
though. That's what it sounds
How was your
like to
weekend,
me.
Rock? How was your weekend,
You
Rock?
had to make a decision.
How was your weekend, Rock? How was your weekend,
I
Rock?
was there for you. I told you, do what you got to do, bro.
Yeah, because that's who I called first.
But you messed up.
But you okay.
Because I'm going to keep it 100.
You know what? Then I wouldn't have had a
rain
roof over
100.
my head, Tyreek. Wouldn't have had a roof over my head. Thanks. So
No,
that's why I
I'm-
made an honest decision.
I'm saying you did a great job,
Oh,
man.
you did. Thanks.
You made it. Just because it's an honest decision doesn't mean you left somebody else in the mud.
How was your weekend, Rock?
My weekend was good. And actually, this weekend I had the pleasure and the honor and beyond, I don't even know what the right word to say, beyond humbled, to do the eulogy for my cousin, my wife, on my wife's side, Latoya Renee Mayberry. May she rest in heaven. God gave her this.
That's
gave her
awesome,
her
man.
wingspan. Yeah, it was definitely a first. This year I officiated my first wedding, and then I, did my first eulogy. So I don't know what God's doing, but it was definitely an honor. Definitely an honor to do that.
That's awesome, man. I personally think they just didn't have nobody else, so they was like, "What the heck? Let's have Ryan do it."
Well,
so
I mean, when in doubt, if you want to win, put Ryan in.
dang, you stole that. That's
Sure
not
did.
yours.
But
No.
it's
If you want to ride, if you want to win, put Ryan in.
Win, put Ryan in.
Yeah, man.
Before we even jump
That's
to-
dope, though.
Yeah, like I said, man, it was a humbling experience.
Yeah.
But before we even jump into the topic, we getting rid of this dog. The dog got to go.
And you already know I wanted you to get rid of that dog because in real life I'm scared of dogs. I ain't got no shame in
And
the
if
game.
y'all are listening, he's
scared.
He's not
Scared.
joking. Like, he's legit scared.
Scared.
It doesn't matter if it's a little poodle
Yep.
or if it's a 500-pound
But you know what?
Rottweiler. Orlando is
wait.
scared.
You know what else people are scared of?
What?
My pet snake. Yeah, cobra, poisonous.
I hope.
Yeah, are you scared of that? Because most people aren't scared of
You
snakes.
have a
like,
snake?
Yeah, I do.
What type of snake do you have?
It's I just said a cobra.
You have a cobra.
from Africa.
Can you push that? Post that to the page, to the Facebook page, so everybody can see that you have a cobra from Africa.
Let's get into the topic because we're talking about a lot of things that don't have to do with anything.
Yeah.
I don't have to prove anything to anybody, Tyreek. So at the end of the day, Tyreek can see my cobra.
I'm not going.
And if he had a mic,
I'm not even gonna say what that sounded
did
like.
sound-
Don't say it though. Don't
Pause.
say it. Yeah, pause.
Hey, Tyreek said pause.
Tyreek seen my cobra. He has.
Darn
hasn't
it.
he?
Darn
he
it.
hasn't.
Oh, I do this to myself every time.
Shout out
Okay.
to Ty, the engineer.
Yeah, man.
But man, let's get to this topic for today.
The topic today, I'm telling you, this is a good one, y'all. Y'all ready for it? Does my family history affect my future?
Does my history affect my future? My
Does
family
my
history.
family, not just history, but my family history. Come on, family trees, all those good things. Definitely got to bring up of how this topic came about. Me and my brother, my little brother. Shout out to Renardo.
Shout out.
We're definitely talking about our family tree, our family history. Just recently, I just wanted to, I don't know, something went off on me, and I was just wanting to really kind of dig into like what my family history had to offer.
Right.
And so like why why is this entrepreneur crying out? And what is this preacher in me? What is this, all these different things, this people person, just having the gift of gab. Where's all this thing? Where are all these things coming from? And so, it's just what it is, man. My dad has a little history back from Miami, and my dad also has a little history back in Puerto Rico. My grandfather lives in Puerto Rico. My grandmother was from Miami. I'm not too sure and definite where she was from, but I've been I don't know, at 31, man, it's just what it is. I can be honest. I'm dealing with identity right now. Like, who am I? What is my purpose? But in order, I feel like, to know who you are, you have to go back to see who you were, like where you come from, in order to move forward. And so, talk to my little brother about it. And Renardo was like, I don't care about our history. I don't care about what like, at the end of the day, that does nothing for me. To know that there might have been an architect in our family, I don't care. And so I brought up the point to him. I was like, well,
because your brother's an engineer, right?
He is. He's an architecture engineer. And I was like, Renardo, that would be amazing. Can you imagine reading in the history books, instead of us knowing that slavery was it, like, to know that we were kings and queens, how much better that would have affected our lives and had us moving? Well, because we've always known, Todd, that we're always under. And so Renardo was like, I don't care. At the end of the day, I'm starting my history with me and my family if I eventually get one, and that's all that's going to matter. I don't care about my grandmother that's gone and she, rest in heaven, but I don't care about her. I don't care about anybody that was in the past that wasn't there in my life, present, or even, here when I was coming up as a kid. And so that's where I came up with the subject. That does it affect me? And I think it does. So I know that, Rock, you just recently have been in the process of looking for your father.
Yeah, definitely.
So how's that going for you?
Man, going good. Like I said, it's definitely a process. Started, a couple of years started doing it, but really picking up some speed and doing some different things. Got with Ancestry.com and got my DNA matched. So, and for those of you, I don't know who've tried Ancestry.com, but did it. I wasn't too much concerned about the origin part of it at first because, like I said, I'm trying to find somebody. But as soon as I got my match back, it said I was matched with, like, first cousins or closer with 500 and some odd people. So that was blowing my mind. Still going through all those, trying to talk to different people. But I know it works because for my mother's side, it had people that I actually know that are my cousins and that have done it. And it was like, okay, you guys share DNA. So I'm like, cool, this, actually works. So right now, weeding through that whole thing, and it's definitely a process, I'll tell you that much. But I'm excited about it because it's just another step to finding out more about who am I. Like you said, I can understand a bit where your brother's coming from because, of course, and we were all like that. Hey, I'm starting something here, my legacy, this and that. But you got to think about, you wouldn't be where you're at now if it wasn't for those who came before you.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you don't have to I don't want to say not care, but you have to at least appreciate, respect. But by appreciating and respecting, you have to know.
Of course. So but it's the same as Renardo. And the point that I brought up to him was that he's an alpha. Right. So what do you have to do in order to be an alpha? You have to learn the history in order. Like, I remember when I went to his crossing, Renardo was going through countless things of history. Like, just, man, like they were literally reading, Ty. They were reading a book, like, on their hands, like, of things that they had memorized. Right. And so it was like, wow, like, here it is, like, you're having to memorize all of this history to who was the first one to start the alphas. And so he was like, well, that's different because, no, that's not different, brother. You like have Red. To, in order to appreciate.
What about when he tried to smoke me or choke me in Smoke's backyard?
Oh, that was different. Right? So I'm saying that, yes, to know that I have, like, fellow architects. And like I told him, I was like, Renardo, what if you found out that you have alpha men in the family? What would that be like? Oh, wow. So that's why it was on me to want to be an alpha, because it's in our family. Oh, that's why my grandfather was a Marine. I never knew that until a few years ago. That's why my father wanted to go into the military. It was just something on my dad that just want to go to know that it was in our family. And I relate, and I told Renardo, I relate going back and learning about your family and the joys and the amazingness of it. I liken it to the movie Roots. I don't know if you guys have watched the movie. It was a long movie.
We've seen Roots. They used to watch it in school.
But what does Kunta Kinte say every time? He talks about, do never forget the story. And what was the original story? That he was taken away from his land, where he was, and that he was brought to this foreign land. But there was a place in Africa that they were from. And so that's where I know is yearning in me. I desire to know, where is my family roots, and why is it that, like I think I shared this with you guys before. My uncle said that he went to Puerto Rico to find out by my grandfather that he has an entire son there, and that he had 10 plus children. Mm-hmm. So those children are my cousins. And so my uncle was like, there's entrepreneurs in Puerto Rico as of now that are waiting to find out that, wow, we're cousins. And of course they all speak Spanish, but I'm excited about how to learn Spanish, because I have a whole nother language in me that I haven't even tapped into.
That's so why your waves awesome. Look like that. That's Puerto Rican waves you got on there?
I got to be honest, they are. Yeah, good hair.
But good hair. Watch the movie. But that's the same way I feel. Even if I wasn't, Tyre got some nice waves too. He just let us know he got nice waves. He's been having them since the high school, hasn't he?
Tyre really has. No, in real life he really has.
But that's one thing that's really more important to me than anything. Because I could find my father and he could be, he could be deceased, but I know I got brothers and sisters out there. Yeah. I got more family out there. You know what I'm saying? And we're both big on family. Love family. So just to know, okay, I know I get all this from my mom, but what do I get from my dad? Is this why I do this? Is this why I do that? Oh, that's why I act like that when you know what I'm saying? Things start to come together, and you just feel, to me, I feel like I feel more whole as a person. Don't get me wrong. We know God heals every broken piece and all that type of stuff, but it's great to know where you come from, where you start from. You know what I'm saying? Whether I get to know that man or not, at least to know, okay, so this is how that happened. Okay, that's why I do this. That's why I move like this. It just, you know what I'm saying? And then even you think about sickness and illnesses or diagnoses of such. My wife, she's a social worker, and you're in that field as well. Give me some of the. I can't think of some of the
mental illnesses.
That's what I was trying to
mental illness and literally illnesses,
just in general, a whole medical side.
But what is that called? It's hereditary.
Yeah.
High blood pressure. Why I got high blood pressure? What is the doctor going to ask you? Who in your family has high blood pressure? Well, none of my parents do. Well, maybe it's in your. Further down. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it and that thing really does matter. And so I guess I want to shift it a little bit. What do you think, Rock, is the negatives about going back and finding out family history? What can be negative about it?
I mean, I'm a very optimistic person, so I'm like, there couldn't be too many negatives about it. But I mean, you can always have negatives. You can find out the person you married to is your cousin, and
yeah.
And now y'all kissing cousins.
That'd be bad.
I done heard so many stories of, what was it? It was fraternal twins. I heard a story the other day. It was fraternal twins adopted on different sides of or were adopted and lived on different sides of the earth. Somehow found each other, dated, got married, and then all of a sudden, they were the family was like, we got something to tell y'all. We just, we realized why we look so much alike. Or stuff like that happens. That's crazy. So, that's definitely a big negative, but any negative, just going back and finding out truths that may
tarnish.
Right.
That might
tarnish or
oh my gosh, traumatize.
Yeah, traumatize you.
Yeah, I think what could be a super super negative is finding out that you find your family and the inside they don't want anything to do with you. Right? That can be a super letdown to find out. God forbid. Oh my goodness, God forbid. But to find out dad is okay. And you find him and he's like, hey, what's going on? How you doing? And you're passionate, but it might not be the same energy from him. And then it might be that, okay, well, you found me, man. I got to go to work. So I'll give you, so I think the letdowns, I think those letdowns of
the letdowns could be definitely a
oh my gosh, so you're not excited about wanting to know who I am, and no, that's cool that you found me. But you know what?
And I definitely hear you on that. And people have posed me with that question, but even in that, I still know.
Sure.
So then that lets me know, okay, this might have been where I came from, but this is where I'm going. So from your brother's aspect of it as it don't, okay, so if that's the case, that don't matter.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? It don't matter if he don't want me, he don't love me. Like Fresh Prince on when he was like, well, he wants me, man.
That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Even if you don't want me, at least I know. You know what I'm saying? I know now what I've been searching for is this, okay, and now I can move on. But I think it's always just with anything that you may be searching and seeking, or you got that void, you know, in your life, and you just don't understand why I do this, why I do that. At least you'll know why, and then from there you make the decision. And really, it shouldn't be, especially if you're doing better than those you're searching for, or whatever it is. Okay, let me keep on rocking the way I'm rocking. Now I understand where I came from. And let me go to another level here where I'm already, you know. So, I mean, I thought of every scenario there could be, but at the end of the day, like I said, if I was to never find him, and I said this at the eulogy on Saturday, you know, I didn't know my dad growing up, and I still don't know him now, but if I was to never find him, and if I was to never ever get to know him, God, when you go, I feel like when you go without something that you really yearned for and wanted, God's gonna bless you 100 times more in a different area, and that's what He did when He gave me Junior. I didn't grow. I was just about to ask you know what I'm saying. I didn't grow up with the Father, and there's so many things I wanted from Him.
I can feel that.
And I stored all those things up, and now He gave me Junior, and I can pour all that out on Him.
I can feel that.
You see what I'm saying? Like that, because it could have been a whole totally different way. I didn't grow up with the dad. I could have been, you know, I'm gonna do this. I didn't have my dad. I didn't do that. No, you know what? Even though I didn't have that, this is what I want to give to someone
else.
And
I'm gonna give you more. And I'm gonna give you what more. I wish I had.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I feel.
And
like
that's what it manifested for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I prayed for Josh. I need a boy. I need, you know, my son, so I can give somebody all the stuff I've been storing up.
Sure.
So,
and I think that's a great point, because it was the same for me with my son. Not to say that my dad is still amazing. I mean, it's times 8, but I just felt like I really wanted to give Junior what I wish that I consistently had from my pops. And that was love. That was, you know, I'm kissing on you. I'm loving on you. I'm telling you how awesome and dope you are. All of the above, man. So I think that that's an awesome point about how God will give you. But this is the thing, though, too. Man. I still think that to all of our listeners, I think it's your right to want to go and find out at least. Don't find yourself just saying, I don't care. No, go out there and see about where you come. Like I said, how I likened it, or how I compared it was that, right? How I compared it was literally in school, we used to read about the Boston Tea Party and come on, name some other things. The wars and the other things. And I really loved history. But I'm mad that, Ty, they never told me about Black Wall Street. Why they never brought that up? Why didn't that never come up in history books? Why did it never come up that Black people were out here making things happen outside of Black History Month in February? Like we were, why didn't you never tell me about the Moors? Come on, Hidden Colors.
Because if I tell you where you come from, you'll know that you're destined for something greater.
So I'm saying, like I told my little brother, I was like, wow, what that's going to look like if you were to look up that the name Rivera holds weight.
Right.
Like, bruh, like y'all come from a lineage. And it'd be like, what kind of lineage? Do you know that you were an advisor for George Washington? Your great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather was an advisor? Do you know that I don't know, that your great aunt was the first one to invent, I don't know, the light bulb. I don't know, whatever invention.
It definitely wasn't a light bulb.
You shut up. But you know, but to know that you were a part of history. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like to know, Rock, that God for I don't know, but to know that in some way, watch this. But to know that, what if you really were connected to Harriet Tubman? What? Yeah, you're connected to that. So I'm saying what, because I'm kind of shifting this question.
Shift.
What would it look like for you to know that you really not only, it's two questions, because what would it feel like to know that not only you were a part of history, but to know that you have an abundant inheritance in store? And I'm telling you, I don't know why I keep feeling this over you, bro, that you have an abundant inheritance waiting on you.
Speaking to my life.
But it's on you, right? I will.
Right.
It is on you to go. What does the Bible say? Knock and the door will be open. Seek and you shall find. That to know that if you really want, that there is an inheritance times 1,800 waiting on you. But the key is for a lot of us is you have to go back and go get it.
Right.
A lot of us are like, man, no, man, skip that, man. I ain't trying to go back to back to back to back to back. But you don't know that what if, Ty, you found out that someone in your family is a Nigerian king. And you found out that he was connected to you, and to be like, right. But to know that you found out and you're like, shut up.
Yeah.
And you go to his kingdom to find out that he's like, yeah, you're a part of family. And watch this. You're because you're family, this is your inheritance.
Gosh darn. Zamunda,
That would be
Wakanda,
like-
all wrapped together.
Oh my God.
Tired, you probably got some people from Zamunda.
I believe it. I believe it. And I know your waves comes from it. Hey, they probably got the girls over there with waves. Like, you're a part of our family.
Finger waves.
Look, hey, nice to meet you. I'm putting my head down. Nice to meet you. You're a part. Like, right? But what would that make you feel like to know that you were a part of history and you have an inheritance? What would that do to you? What do you think would do to you?
It would just be confirmation. Because I am somebody. I will be great. But no, man, for real though. Of course, it just make you feel like, man, like I'm a part of something bigger than myself. And I think at the end of the day, we all want to be a part of something bigger than ourselves. Sure. Or you should want to, in my opinion. But that's exactly how it make me feel. Like I'm a part of something bigger, and that my life matters even more than I thought it did in the first place. And a lot of people, for one, don't even think their life matters. We always put that out there. Oh, this is just going to be who I am. This is what I do. This is how it's always going to be. No, there's more life than just what you're living right now. But you have to open up your mind, and there's just so much opportunity and just so many ways to just express yourself in life.
Yeah.
And like you said, being able to go back and find about your past is one of those things. So, man, like I said, it would just make me feel bigger than life to know that I was just a part of something more than myself. And like you said, I believe that as strongly as you've been saying that since day one. Even shout out to my best friend Eric Johnson. That man gets on Facebook ever since we was back in high school, bro.
Wow.
Since we were back in high school, I was like, I'm gonna find your dad, dog, because his dad had connected with him through Facebook, because we both kind of grew up like that, not knowing our fathers. Yeah, and his dad had found him, and then I said, my man, E Money, Eric Johnson, my boy to the day I die. Every couple of weeks he's calling me like, hey, what's asking me questions, trying to search, man. I just want to shout him out because that's the homie for real, dog. That's my bro. So. But like I said, I understand it's all gonna be in God's time, and I'm excited. For the expectation because I understand I'm going to find out who my father is. I'm going to find out if I got any brothers or sisters, and even for my son now, I got a son. So that's a whole nother medical side. You know what I'm saying? I know Gabrielle, she knows all her people, but I know my mother's side was like, okay, what else am I bringing, to the table that might even affect my son?
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely, knowing your past can affect your future in a lot of different ways.
Sure. So let me ask this real quick, and I'll let you get the mic again. Do you think that it's important to come to the table once you find out, once you figure out, once you've researched, what is it, because I want to ask this right, is it important to come more negative to the situation or more positive? So like me finding out who my family is, find out like, is it important that I just come like, man, I don't know why y'all ain't been around, why y'all ain't da 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 da, like, or is it important to stay positive about everything? Like, hey, I haven't known you, like in your situation with dad, like, is it gonna be important for you to really stay positive, or is it really important for you to like dig at him and be like, that's so you wasn't there, now I found you, now what da da da, like how
I think it's important. I think it's important to stay positive, mainly for the one reason is I've grown up in this lifetime and I've done some things that, that I'm not proud of, that we've all done some things we shouldn't have done. So to understand like, hey, you might have just been in that spot, dog. Like, I'm not trying to justify whatever it was that led you to us being in this situation, but you got to stay positive. You definitely have to stay positive because you never know what circumstances happen. You never know what decisions somebody had to make that ended up us being the way it is. So to me, yeah, it's definitely you have to stay positive because it's easy to be negative. It's easy to say, you weren't here for this, you weren't here for that. Okay, they weren't here for all that, but I'm here right now. You found me, we found each other. Where are we going to go from now? What we do from now here matters. So I guess that even goes back to your intent in the beginning. Why am I even trying to find you? You know what I'm saying? Why am I even trying to look for you? Am I looking for you or trying to know my past for negative reasons to harp on it or to harp on somebody? Or am I trying to find my past to just understand me more? And I think, man, we was in here chatting before, and Tyreek had said something so great. You know, our generation of parents, or our parents, had a hard time just telling us stuff, just telling the truth and just letting it be how it is. Compared to our generation, is we getting it out there, we expressing it, we letting you know this is how we feel. I don't want to operate like this. I don't want to feel the way I'm feeling, knowing that all I need is some truth to set me free. And that's crazy in itself. All I need is some truth to set me free. But yet the people who are holding the truth don't want to give it up. Don't want to share because they feel it's going to make them seem a certain way. Got to get past that. We got to get past that. That's where all this, you got a lot of mental illness and different, people are dealing with so much, all because if people would just tell the truth. You will set so many people, set so many people free. So I mean, my thing is, it is very important to know. You got to know where you come from.
Said it best. You got to know where you come from. Got to know. Oh, man, I'm telling you, right, this topic, we can really get deep off into it, brother. I'm talking
real
about
quick.
deep off into it.
There has to be a part 2.
Yeah, it has to be, man. But this time, man, you know what? I'm feeling it, man. We got to get some guests. We got to get somebody in here that has experienced this. And you know what? I got somebody in mind, too. I think we both know her. Okay. I got somebody in mind that has experienced and that knows exactly what it means to, like, literally wonder, and now it's become a reality, and she knows what it means to actually touch, and it's worked out for us, man. But yeah, we're going to talk about it, man. We're going to get her on here. I have a good one in mind. I'm excited about it.
Cool. And let's put it out to anybody else. Hey, if anybody else is out there who's have gone back to look up your history, if you've done any Ancestry.com or I think it's like 123andMe is 23andMe, excuse me, 123andMe without the one. 23andMe is another one. Or if you've just been able to go back and find your family, and we want to know, we want to hear from you. So definitely hit up our Facebook page, message us. We would love to have you on the show. Email us at theflowkc at gmail.com. Hit us up on Instagram.
Go do it.
KC. Follow us on all those, man. We would love to hear about how you guys came to find about your history and your family. So,
and let's just be honest, man. The following is getting deep, man. I've been looking at it, man. I mean, we got some good followers, man.
Good,
so
man.
it's a good show. And I mean, the thing is, it's humbling because it's amazing to know that people care about what we talk about.
Right.
And we're not just talking about anything. Again, we're not creating more problems. We're creating solutions.
Right.
So, I mean, you threw out a lot of good information about where you can go and find family. Family is important. At the end of the day, I can have friends. I can have buddies.
Family.
Come on.
I got all my brothers with me.
Hey.
Say we are family.
We are family.
I got all my sisters with me.
Whoa.
Is that how it
You went there. That was good.
I tried to hit him on that.
That was good.
So
hey, man. Rock the flow. We here, baby.
The flow.
Till next time, man. Hey, but watch this, though. Next week.
Part 2.
Man, we go on part 2. We might have a part 5. This thing is going to get deep. You know how many people literally lack of knowing who they are and lack of knowing their family?
How you
family
skip from part 2 to part 5?
Because it might get that deep, man. It might get that deep, man. It might have Pastor Angela come up in here and talk about where she come from.
Pastor Angela, matter of fact, we need to have Pastor Angela on.
Hey, I'm with it. Well, hey, man. Till next time, The Flow with Rock.
And
let's get it.
We out. Even though I'm rocking,